So I was asked in 2006 by a member of my little group if I wanted to support the Free Gaza movement. And I said, well, tell me about it. And they told me that they were going to take a little fishing boat. In those days, they thought it was just going to be one, to break the naval blockade of Gaza. And I laughed. I said, Israel is the fourth largest military power in the world. And you think you can break a naval blockade, which is run by warships, with a little fishing boat? You're going to sail this little fishing boat to Gaza? And I said, you're completely nuts. Well, they continued raising money, and then they said, we've got a date. It's going to be August. They were going to sail in August. And I thought, oh shit, they're going through with this. So I was still worried about all these people doing this ridiculous project of sailing a boat, a little fishing boat, past warships into Gaza. But I said, okay, well, I'll do what I can. Well, off they went to Cyprus to prepare and do all their non-violence training and so on. And then I started to really worry. I thought, how many of my friends am I never going to see again? So by this time I'd changed from contempt and cynicism to, from Cyprus. He'd been doing support work for them and said, look, they want you to arrange a demonstration or a vigil. We are sailing on Friday, August the 22nd for Gaza. I thought, oh my God, the boat still hasn't been blown up and my friends are still in danger. So I was still thinking, if it just gets blown up when nobody's on board, that'll be the end of that and they'll all come home. But no, they were actually setting a date now. They're sailing their little fishing, it's now 2 little fishing boats, they've gone up to 2. Tiny little boats, you know, leaking and goodness knows what. Off they were going to drown at sea, even if they didn't get as far as Gaza.
I got a phone call from Yvonne Ridley saying, oh, Aki, do you want to come to, to Palestine and maybe even get shot to filming this project called Free Gaza? This is what it's about. And immediately she said it, I just went, wow, I'm there. I actually felt blessed that I've been given an opportunity to hopefully, inshallah, get into Gaza. I'm part of this big project where there's many people.
I mean, given the political situation in the United States and the way that this struggle and the situation has been framed, a lot of people would say, wow, you're taking aid to Gaza. Why did you choose to do the action that you did and to risk getting that kind of reputation?
It wasn't so much for humanitarian aid as for human rights. For me, it was more seeing that there's a lot of people there, there's a lot of children there, more than 50%, and it was more that there's people suffering. I got this opportunity, my mom called me and she was like, you want to go on a boat to Gaza?
The longer this keeps going, the longer the pain will be for generations and generations. And that is not worth any amount of land, it's not worth any amount of death and murder and innocent lives lost on any side. So all I can say is step up to the mark and let's resolve this matter as quickly and as beautifully as possible.
So this love, this universal love from which we emerge and to which we go when we leave this planet, is an eternal source of strength and of energy. It's one of the planet's great natural resources, human love and human energy.
Rescuing and having sympathy for the downtrodden, wherever they were, in Russia, in the Middle East, in the South, in the Appalachia.
Along with some other friends, both international Palestinian and one Israeli, ended up co-founding the International Solidarity Movement. And the whole idea of that was really to globalize the Palestinian struggle, because the international community was portraying it as, Palestinian versus Jew, or Palestinian versus Israeli, Muslim versus Jew. It's not that. It's freedom versus occupation. And the international community didn't see, at least the way the media was portraying it, didn't see that. And people continued to be oppressed and violence continued to rage. We thought if we could get the international civil society more involved in the Palestinian freedom struggle, then we could provide a concrete resource for Palestinian civilian, non-violent, unarmed resistance.
Times when people stand up for freedom in one part of the planet, their call resonates among people in other parts of the planet. But the issue here is that people's love for freedom exists at a very deep instinctual level. Every human being loves freedom.
The same thing that many of us participated in the 60s was freedom riders. We were going to go down and correct an injustice. With women's movements, we were going to correct an injustice. Is it perfect? Of course not. It's never going to be perfect. But it's the same concept of saying, this is an injustice that has to be corrected. Somebody has to do it. If governments aren't going to do it, then we're going to do it. It's going to be civil societies, either the civil rights or the women's rights or South Africa. Once you are a nonviolent activist and you see that it does work, ultimately it does work, I think you realize that that is the only answer. Violence is never going to be an answer. It just creates more violence. And the thing that made me even more passionate about doing this was going to Berlin for 3 months and working with their nonviolent, their nonviolent committee in Berlin, because, as I said, every Friday they have a nonviolent action. Every Friday they march to that wall. Every Friday. So I was living in Berlin. I was living in Geneva. I saw how the Palestinians responded by nonviolence. I saw how smart they were and how dedicated they were, especially in Berlin, where they were having nonviolent actions every single Friday. I was so humbled. I still am humbled by that philosophy that I try really hard to follow and that the Palestinians just have. They just do. And they will go back every week and they will say, if it's not this week, it's next week. If it's not next week, it's next year. We Americans want it resolved in 5 minutes. They have the patience. The one thing they taught me in Berlin is to be patient. Be patient. It will happen. It will.
The international solidarity movement with the people of Palestine is a wonderful example of how human beings all over the world act in solidarity with each other, without regard to modern nation states, to the lines in the sand that the political elites have drawn. People are actually willing to give their lives for these higher ideals of international solidarity, of the right for every human being to live with justice in their lives and at peace. There's an instinctual level at which people's solidarity with each other simply cannot be suppressed. People understand that the people of Gaza have been denied the bare necessities of life, have been herded onto a small enclave surrounded by barbed wire. So the effort to break the blockade of Gaza is a tremendous show of the resiliency of the human spirit, the fact that people will not be intimidated by a government as strong as the government of Israel is, with all of its weapons and with all of its high technology. The people's spirit is simply stronger than the technology of these nation states.
And I think it's really proven to be quite dynamic. I mean, when we started, we had this idea of calling people I had this dream of like thousands of people coming, and we would form this massive civilian army that would link arms and prevent the Israeli soldiers from invading Palestinian villages, to block tanks and block bulldozers. But at the same time, realistically speaking, we didn't know if anybody would come.
So I think for those of us who got involved in the boat, I think many of us realized, look, the Palestinians are already nonviolent. They're already doing this in Berlin. They're already doing this in Jenin.
It's been very exciting to see these other experiments, because each of these experiments, I think of the whole sequence of boats to Gaza as being people in a very concrete way experimenting with active nonviolence. And given the nature of the situation, it's some kind of combination or mixture of hope that you will get to Gaza and recognition that there are a formidable array of obstacles that are being presented.
We are sailing away with hope in our soul, sailing to say you are not alone, sailing today. Salam, shalom, for peace on the shores of Gaza. We bear no weaponry of war, we have no gun nor mortar. We hold no hatred in our heart for any living creature. But when this human family pains, in no matter where the nation, can we bring comfort there and keep communication? We are sailing away with hope in our soul, sailing to say you are not alone, sailing today. Salam, shalom, for peace on the shores of Gaza. Memories of better days gone by, pain too sad to mention. And as that wire rises higher, the more good neighbors question who is gaining from this war in dark deliberation, while poor people live in fear or die in desperation. We are sailing away with hope in our soul, sailing to say you are not alone. We are sailing today. Salam, shalom, for peace on the shores of Gaza. We come with nothing much to give but words of caring. Come that knowing when we leave, it's we who will be learning how a spirit can survive the tides of grief and devastation, and rise again to sow the seeds of peace and celebration. We are sailing away with hope in our soul, sailing to say you are not alone, sailing today. Salam, shalom, for peace on the shores of Gaza. We are sailing away with hope in our soul, sailing to say you are not alone. We are sailing today. Salam, shalom, for peace on the shores of Gaza. Inshallah, peace on the shores of Gaza.
You're saying that in 13 months, you had no way to leave Gaza. There was no border you could cross.
Of course, there are borders on the map. But practically, borders are controlled by Israel. And we are not free to leave. So for 13 months, I had been trying by myself, by my networks, by our diplomatic representations outside, by the help of the US Congress, by the help of the Israeli Knesset, and all went for vain, for nothing. I could not leave. If you don't understand as an American or international, for me, I don't understand that I cannot practice my human rights to move and to go to do what? To do science for the betterment of humanity. We are human beings. We breathe like you. We like flowers. I enjoy Beethoven and rock music and country music. I see what you see. I have imagination. I did physics like others can do. So we are human. There is basic rights. You know, politics spoil things. We should take off this away from our communication as humans. What the prophets were for? To teach people how to tolerate, to value diversity, to live together. People, even according to United Nations human rights, people were born equal, with no religion, no border, nothing. So let's take the standard from this baby born, newborn, and learn from children. Let's learn from the children.
I'm always sick, I don't know. I can't do anything. You see all of this. What do you expect me to do? Fix it? I'm only 10. I can't even do anything this morning. I just want to be a doctor or anything to help my people, but I can't. I'm just a kid. I don't even know what to do. I get scared, but not really that much. I do anything for my people, but I don't know what to do. I'm just 10. I'm just 10. All of this, when I see it, I literally cry every day, saying to myself, why do we deserve this? What did we do to this? We're just kids. You see all of the kids around me? They're just kids. Why wouldn't you just send a missile to them and kill them? It's not fair. It's not fair.
We also saw the reality of the Gazan situation. Hedy reports to Gazan student journalists.
The fact that Palestinians from Gaza can't travel freely in and out of Gaza, that means students can't go abroad to get educated. That means that we have hundreds of patients dying because they can't get adequate medical care. This is deliberate punishment, which is illegal under the Geneva Convention. We hope that this mission has inspired average civilians that we really can do something. We know what's happening. These are crimes against humanity. We can't be silent.
Takes lots of us, hundreds, thousands of us, to make a big change. But that doesn't mean that I or that anybody else would stop doing what we're doing, because you never know when you will meet. Hedy died May 26, 2016, at the age of 90. She remained an activist until the end, getting arrested for nonviolent protest in Ferguson shortly before her death.
Free Gaza, free, free Gaza, free Gaza, sail your boat ashore. Free Gaza, free, free Gaza, free Gaza, sail your boat ashore. Will the boat to break the siege? People waiting on the beach. Grab the first one in your reach and teach them the Gaza song. Free Gaza, free, free Gaza, everybody free Gaza. Sail your boat ashore. Bishop Tutu has endorsed. He don't want no violent force. Through the barrel of a gun, he says peace can never be won. Tell me what you everybody free Gaza. Sail your boat ashore, now you'll learn to sing the song. Get on board and sing along. Get on board and sing along. Open up and in some time, oh, you can add a little rhyme. Free Gaza, free, free Gaza, everybody free Gaza. Sail your boat ashore, I want everybody to be free. Everybody, every you and me. Sing a song of solidarity, oh, sing the Gaza song. Free Gaza, everybody free, free Gaza. Everybody free Gaza. Sail your boat ashore.
سيب القماش يا شيخ، سيب مساعدة، سيب مساعدة.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. And we'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand one day. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we'll work hand in hand one day. And we'll break down the prison walls. We will tear down those prison walls. Together we will tear down the prison walls on that day. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we will tear down all those prison walls on that day. And the truth will set us free. The truth will set us free. Truth will set us all free on that day. And deep in my heart, I do believe that the truth will set us all free on that day. And we shall overcome on that day.
Visca, visca Palestina! Visca, visca Palestina!
Well, a flotilla bound for Gaza carrying food, medicine, and other humanitarian aid was intercepted and seized last week by the Israeli Navy. The women's boat to Gaza had set sail from the Spanish port city of Barcelona in mid-September in an effort to break the ongoing Israeli blockade. Organizers say the Israeli military seized the boat and detained the 13 human rights activists aboard it in international waters about 40 miles away from Gaza's shore. The Israeli military towed the boat to the port of Ashdod and detained the women for up to 4 days before deporting them.